Caught train surfing in Del Mar. What witnesses had to say?
San Diegans who fled Iran decades ago, not because they wanted to, but to avoid religious persecution, will get their thoughts on the chaos happening there right now.
The San Diego Padres are facing animal cruelty charges stemming from the 2024 Padres rodeo. I have more on the trial that started today.
A safe place to sleep is becoming something much more for families in need.
How Isa Rosales, a single mother of 3, turned her dream into one hot tamale.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts right now.
Caught on camera, 2 people riding on top of a coaster train as it was heading toward Del Mar. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. The incredibly dangerous and illegal ride happened Friday. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office tells us the people who did it were later arrested. CBS 8's Steffi Roche has been tracking this story for us. She joins us live now. Steffi, you spoke with the person who saw this happen and posted the now viral video.
That's right, and he says that he's used to seeing surfers out here in Del Mar, but train surfing, that was a first. Just take a look at this wild video. You can see one person laying down on top of the train while another person is running. Deputies for the North Coastal Sheriff's Station immediately responded to the scene in Del Mar. By the time deputies arrived, the 2 individuals had already climbed off the train and left the area. They were later found in Solana Beach and arrested for trespassing on railroad property. TJ Wilcox lives nearby and recorded the video. He said he couldn't believe what he was witnessing and even questioned if they were stuntmen in a movie being filmed.
I saw way off the guy, a man on the train, and he was started at the engine and just ran the whole length of the train down and was jumping in between the cars. I didn't get it till he was about parallel with me. Then he sat down on the thing, and it's just basically the video.
Meanwhile, North County Transit District tells me they are aware of the video and urge the public to be mindful of the dangers of moving trains. Riding on the outside of a train is illegal and can result in severe injury or death. NCTD says it is working with local law enforcement authorities to investigate and intends to take appropriate legal action. And the sheriff's office also confirmed that fortunately no one was injured in this ordeal. But for now, reporting live from Del Mar, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
All right, Steffi, thank you. President Trump says he's considering military action in Iran if the country continues to use force to quell protests there.
Tens of thousands of people are taking to the streets of Iran with daily demonstrations. An independent human rights group says government forces have killed hundreds of protesters and arrested more than 10,000 of them. A U.S. official tells CBS News that the president has been briefed on options for military strikes inside the country. Iran's foreign minister says his country is ready for war if the U.S. takes military action. Meanwhile, San Diegans who fled Iran but still have family members there say the pictures from home are heart-wrenching.
Over the weekend, many of them took to the streets of Claremont to show support for the demonstrators who are risking their lives to fight for change. CBS 8's Steve Price joins us live from Claremont with their story. Steve.
Anna and Carlo, a very different scene on this corner right now than what we saw on Saturday when the sidewalk was packed. So many people that they were actually spilling into the bike lane, but they were peaceful and out here with a purpose. More than 500 protesters packing Balboa around Genesee and Claremont Saturday to show support for those in Iran who say when it comes to the government there, enough is enough.
It was very, very amazing to see the amount of Iranians that came out.
Dr. Tanya Hormozi was in the crowd. Her family fled Iran decades ago when she was just 5 years old to avoid religious persecution.
What people don't understand is that the Islamic Republic is not just an entity that forces people to, convert or believe in Islam. It's an entity that takes everyone's basic rights away.
With the internet being cut off and phone service down, it's hard for San Diegans to get a true understanding of what's happening in Iran. Many say they haven't been able to reach family members for days, and with reports of more than 500 people killed and thousands injured, they call the situation heart-wrenching.
It's not a crackdown, it's a massacre at this point, and they have the luxury of the world not being able to see what's happening.
Karoush Tagavi's brother lives in Iran. We wanted to show you his picture, but Karoush said no, fearing it would affect his brother's safety. That said, he's proud of those risking it all for change.
They're in it to win it, it seems, one way or another. And you know, I have faith in the people who are on the streets, and they know exactly what they want. They want justice. They want their dignity back. They want equality.
They also demand a better economic structure, but most of all, they want freedom.
I want to be able to go back and just visit my country. It's a beautiful country.
Yeah, something she cannot do right now. It is just not safe. By the way, another protest scheduled for this same area next Saturday from 2 to 4. They'll be around the corner of Balboa and Genesee. Carlo and Anna.
Thanks, Steve. Opening statements began today in the trial of a San Diego man accused of murdering 2 family members in Point Loma. William Bushy shot and killed his sister and nephew in August of 2024. It came just days after his sister moved into the home he had shared with their 86-year-old mother, June. She was also shot, hit in the chest, and lost 3 fingers on her right hand, but she survived. She testified in court today saying she and her daughter were talking outside when Bushy started shooting without saying a word.
Living room, he came out with the gun and shot her. And at that time, I escaped out my room, out the front door, down the front steps.
Bushy's defense admits he is responsible for the deaths, but says they were not premeditated and were provoked by efforts to evict him. If convicted of all charges, Bushy could face life in prison without parole. The San Diego Padres are in court just days before Petco Park is set to host its 3rd annual rodeo this weekend.
It comes from allegations by animal rights groups that some rodeo events at the ballpark constitute animal cruelty. CBS 8's Alex Cheney joins us live. He was in the courtroom today. What happened, Alex?
Well, you know, they had both sides were in the courtroom today. This all centers around a horse called the Waco Kid. Back in 2024, that horse was doing its job over here at the Petco Rodeo when it smashed at full speed into a metal fence, and then that horse never walked again. This case has been around for a while. It originally started in 2023, but now the trial has started today.
The question calls for a yes or no answer only.
The judge in the Hall of Justice said it was a contentious day in court as both sides of the animal cruelty case laid out their arguments.
Just based on what they did, that's kind of even outside the norm of rodeos in general.
Brian Pease is a lawyer representing the Animal Protection and Rescue League and Shark, or Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. The groups filed a lawsuit in November of 2023 against the Padres and C5 Rodeo, the company that operates the event. The suit alleges animal cruelty during a 2024 incident where a horse named Waco Kid crashed full speed into a fence during the event and never walked again. Rodeo doctors on site say they x-rayed the horse and treated it, while the animal rights groups say the x-rays never happened and C5 tried to sweep it under the rug.
There were no x-rays, no diagnostics, and then the horse was just sedated overnight and then released out the door the next morning to the owners. Well, the horse never walked again.
To the owners. The founder of Shark says he can't believe the Padres even agreed to host the event year after year.
I'm surprised that the city of San Diego would tolerate this kind of abuse. I'm stunned that a Major League Baseball team, the Padres, would have anything to do with this.
Steve Hindy wants an injunction put on the rodeo to end it and hold everyone responsible for their actions in this lawsuit.
Frankly, I would expect better out of some backwoods rodeo in Idaho than what's coming out of San Diego.
I contacted C5 Rodeo for comment but did not hear back, and the Padres said they welcome everyone to the rodeo this weekend. So the trial continues tomorrow, and they are expected to actually have testimony from that horse doctor that actually treated Waco Kid. The judge said earlier today that this trial is going to take maybe the entire week. Lawyers from Shark told me that regardless of whatever is decided this week, it will not affect the rodeo this weekend. It will go on as planned. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
All right, Alex, thank you. Mayors from across San Diego County joined the fight against controversial parking fees at Balboa Park. Mayors from Escondido, El Cajon, Chula Vista, San Marcos, and Coronado all held a news conference today. They argue the charges are unfair to their residents who regularly visit the park.
This is not about politics. It's about public access, and it's about fairness. And it's about recognizing Balboa Park is a regional treasure and not just a budget tool.
Now, just yesterday, our crews were out in Balboa Park, and look at this. Mostly empty parking lots all across the park, despite beautiful weather. When asked if the mayors would contribute their own budgets to maintain Balboa Park, none of the mayors committed to doing so. Well, for families facing housing uncertainty, small things can make a really big difference.
CBS 8's Alex Lai takes us inside a newly reimagined community space at the Rose Canyon Safe Parking Lot and shows us why it matters.
Well, this is now more than just a safe place to sleep. It's where families living out of their cars can come together to share meals, celebrate birthdays, and build community. 18 camping trailers at the Rose Canyon Safe Parking Program give families a temporary place to stay as they work towards stable housing. Now a newly renovated community space is making the in-between feel a little more like home.
This room is where community happens, where meals are shared, homework is done, and parents can meet with case managers to take real steps towards housing.
Unveiled this morning, the space includes play areas for kids, new appliances, phone charging lockers, and a space to relax and gather.
So much color and there's so much art.
Mike Phillips with the Jewish Family Service, which runs the safe parking site, says families already feel the difference.
We've had participants that come and say, now I can be a person again, or finally I feel human again. Those are the extra things that we're going to be able to make possible by working with all these partners that we're working with today.
Home Aid, Humble Design, and Swinnerton provided the labor and materials for the 4-day project. It was led and funded by donors Mark and Hannah Gleberman, inspired by their daughter-in-law, Samantha.
They need that normalcy in their lives. So we thought giving their kids kind of a safer space to be and get everyone regrouped for the evening and the next day would be helpful.
Samantha is a longtime volunteer at the parking site and came up with the vision.
It means a lot to them, so it means a lot to me too.
All designed to make a temporary stop feel a little more like home.
We want people to feel that warm feeling, but we also are working with people to help get them out of that situation and into more secured housing. But while they're with us, why not have that be the best possible experiences we can make it?
Alex Lai, CBS 8.
Thanks, Alex. A breakthrough discovery that could lead to a treatment for Alzheimer's disease.
We've got those details still ahead, plus some good news for Sharp healthcare workers in their fight for better benefits.
But first, the push for a permanent statewide rent cap.